Alright, you had a chance to do number 10 on your own. Let's take a look and see how you did. First, you're trying to find the velocity, so we're taking the derivative of the position. You should get 6t squared minus 24t. Now if we take the derivative of that, we get acceleration, which is 12t minus 24. We need to figure out a diagram for the motion, so we're going to look at when the velocity is 0. So we set that equal to 0. We can factor out a 6t. And we get t equals 0, t equals 4 for our critical values when the velocity is 0. So we're going to use those two values as well as the endpoints, negative 1 and 6. We're going to plug those into the position function to find out where our position is at those critical values, those key points on our graph. So we start off when t is negative 1, the position is negative 8. So on our graph, here we are. Then we put 0 into the original graph and we get positive 6 out. So we're moving to the right till we get to 6. Then the object stops, turns around, and goes to negative 58 when t is 4. Stops and turns around and goes to 6 when t is 6. And then the last part of your problem was to find out when is the when is the object speeding up. So it's speeding up when the velocity and acceleration are both the same. So velocity, remember over here we already did this, velocity was 0 when t is 0 and t is 4. So that's why these are blue on our number line, representing the velocity. And then we plug in some values, so we put like negative 1 into our velocity function. We get a positive number out. Put something in between 0 and 4, so we could put 2 in there, or 1 or 3. Into the velocity function, we get a negative velocity out. So all of these velocities are negative. And then we put one larger than 4 into our velocity equation, and we get a positive velocity. So velocity goes positive till 0, then negative to 4, and then positive beyond that point. Then we have to look at acceleration. We didn't actually set that equal to 0, but you can take a look over here, 12t minus 24. To make that 0, t is going to be 2. Right, you can set it equal to 0 and solve, but you should be able to maybe see it. T is going to be 2, so that's why I have it in orange on our number line for the acceleration. To the left of 2, so if we put in like 0 into our acceleration, we get a negative number out. So all of these are going to be negative. Then if we put something larger than 2 in, we're going to get a positive value. So all of these are positive. The two intervals where either they're both negative or positive would be from 0 to 2 and from 4 to 6.